From the performance in the Olympic Games, which guard of the US team is the most irreplaceable? The first reaction of many people might be Curry. After all, there isn't a second player like him who is such a master of playing without the ball in the US team. However, if both offensive and defensive ends are taken into account, Holiday might be the one who is even more irreplaceable. Although he plays in the style of a role player, his playing time is more than that of many superstars. Kerr would even rather bench Tatum than reduce Holiday's playing time. In this issue, let's talk about the unique role of Holiday for the US team and his terrifying ability to relieve the pressure on superstars. On the offensive end, the most unique thing about Holiday is that he has the versatile attributes of playing without the ball, facilitating plays and driving and dishing out. But at the same time, almost all his skills can free the superstars from constraints. First of all is his ability to play without the ball. His ability to move in the ghost area is extremely strong. There isn't a second active player who can reach Holiday's level in this skill, and this skill also showed up on the Olympic stage. Holiday can quietly appear under the basket when a group of superstar teammates are holding the ball, and then easily score with a layup. Here we don't select the rounds where Holiday scores. We just use one of his regular movements to observe his ability to play without the ball. In this round, after a handoff with Booker, Holiday directly cuts to the basket like a center. He immediately gains an advantage in position. However, Booker, limited by his passing ability, didn't pass the ball out. Putting aside Booker's passing problem, we can appreciate the moment when Holiday starts moving immediately after passing the ball. Players with such an off-ball sense among guards are really rare. Moreover, his off-ball movement isn't only for scoring as a finishing point. Holiday can also use his off-ball movement to play a role similar to a facilitating pivot. Like in the following round, when Embiid is pressured by Jokic, Holiday suddenly starts his off-ball running. Embiid passes the ball immediately. After receiving the ball, Holiday doesn't take a shot himself but smoothly passes it to LeBron, who is cutting to the basket from another side. The latter catches the ball and scores smoothly. In this round, the key for Holiday to free the superstar from constraints is his off-ball running. And after receiving the ball, he has the secondary ball handling ability that role players don't have. This makes his off-ball skill even more unique. In addition, Holiday is also very accurate in catching and shooting three-pointers. One of the key reasons why Kerr trusts Holiday so much, besides his defense, is that he can open up space for the superstars. Let's talk about his ability to handle the ball when he has possession. Holiday doesn't have many opportunities to have the ball and play one-on-one attacks in this US team. But in the limited rounds, we can still see Holiday's fundamentals of handling the ball when in possession. For example, in this round facing the center of Serbia, Holiday takes a dribble forward, suddenly pulls the ball back behind him, and makes a three-pointer. In the US team, Holiday himself is only the fourth or even fifth offensive option in the lineup. But when facing such a mismatch, Holiday won't let it go either. This is the terrifying aspect of Holiday, and even more so the terrifying aspect of the US team. Holiday uses his ability to handle the ball to free his superstar teammates from constraints mainly reflected in his secondary ball handling after receiving the ball and making a drive. He can either start a drive and go for a layup after receiving the ball as a pure wing player. For example, in the following round, after receiving the pass from LeBron, Holiday, who is in a wide-open position, doesn't take a three-pointer immediately. Instead, he takes the ball and makes a direct drive. Finally, he makes a layup with his personal ability while in the air. Or he can also make a drive and dish out the ball directly as a point guard. For example, in this round, after receiving the pass from Booker at the 45-degree position on the right side, Holiday makes a drive without hesitation. After breaking into the inside, he passes the ball back to Booker, who has already moved to the outside as if he has eyes at the back of his head. The latter catches the ball and makes a three-pointer with one shot. In addition, Holiday's passing in transition is also impressive. For example, in the following play, after receiving the pass from Davis, Holiday doesn't dribble with his head down immediately. Instead, he observes the opportunity of Booker and then accurately passes the ball to Booker's hands without error. The latter makes an easy three-pointer. Or like in this round, Holiday makes a long pass like a quarterback to find LeBron, who is fast-breaking. The latter catches the ball and makes a slam dunk smoothly. From these rounds above, we can see that although Holiday is a role player, his ball handling ability, especially his facilitating ability, is completely at the star level. And what's exaggerated is that his ball handling like this doesn't require him to hold the ball and occupy a large amount of ball possession. He only needs to touch the ball. a playmaker who doesn't occupy the ball possession. This is also the reason why Kerr likes to use him. On the defensive end, Holiday has become the defender that Coach Kerr in the entire US team relies on the most. When Holiday is on the court, he not only has to be the first defender to pressure the ball handler on the perimeter, but also often has to take on matchups where he is at a physical disadvantage. However, Holiday accomplishes all these extremely well. He can even switch defenses to guard the opponent's center in some rounds without being at a disadvantage. Like in the following round, Holiday is matched up against Jokic, the leader of Serbia. Logically speaking, this should be a one-sided overwhelming round. However, miraculously, Holiday not only withstood the first two attacks from Jokic but also, with the help of LeBron's double team, caused Jokic to lose the ball. This successful defensive round also led to a fast break score by LeBron. It is worth mentioning that this is also a play that opened the offensive floodgates for the US team. Before this, the US team had multiple offensive attempts within 2 minutes but didn't score. Taking this round as an example, we can even directly say like this that it is thanks to Holiday's strong ability to defend against mismatches that Kerr can freely and boldly use his three-guard offensive system. Without a top-notch guard defender like Holiday with such switching flexibility, Kerr's three-guard system would be blown apart on the defensive end by other teams within 5 minutes. At the same time, Holiday doesn't suffer a disadvantage when matched up against attackers who are larger than his own build. When matched up against players of the same size and position, it's even more exaggerated. In the game against South Sudan, Holiday even directly changed the game with his individual defense. In the third quarter of this game, the US team once chased the score to within single digits but couldn't make further progress. At a critical moment, Holiday's individual defense ignited the morale of the US team and completely opened the floodgates for the US team's counterattack. In this round, Holiday used his defense to make it extremely difficult for the opponent's guard to even enter the three-point line. Subsequently, Holiday used the moment when the opponent passed the ball to disrupt the path of the ball and successfully saved the ball to LeBron's hands. The latter scored with a fast break dunk and also caused a foul by the opponent, completely inspiring the morale of the US team. During this period, besides this impressive individual defense, Holiday's individual defense made the opponent's guard in every round only able to pass the ball or call for a screen. It completely disrupted the opponent's offensive rhythm. This is a model of changing the game with defense. Among the US team's perimeter defenders, only Holiday has such an ability. Besides having an extremely high individual defensive ability, Holiday on the help defense end is one of the few guards with full defensive coverage area. He can suddenly appear in the restricted area as a weak side defender to defend, and he can also return to guard his own defender after completing the help defense and double team tasks. Like in the following round, Holiday was still in the restricted area helping Davis with the help defense and double teaming Jokic 1 second. And the next second, after the opponent passed the ball and got an open three-point shot, he arrived within 2 seconds and disrupted the opponent's three-point attempt. From this round, we can see that besides being the player who undertakes the heaviest individual defensive tasks in the US team, Holiday's help defense is also indispensable for the US team. Because Kerr likes the three-guard lineup too much and the other two guards partnering with Holiday are both defenders of the level of Curry and Booker in terms of defense, Holiday actually has to take on the help defense responsibilities of a small forward. He must use his defensive coverage area to provide help defense as much as possible. Looking at his performance in both offense and defense comprehensively, Holiday can free the superstars from constraints whether in offense or defense. On the offensive end, his ability to play without the ball can match well with the ball handling ability of the superstars and even allow the superstars to pass some hot potato balls. On the defensive end, his defense can reduce the defensive tasks of other superstars. Such a player may not be the most powerful in the team, but he must be the most indispensable one in the team. In the last part of the video, let's discuss a topic. Why does Holiday play the role of the third or fourth person in the Celtics and still remains in this role in the star-studded US team? Ultimately, it is due to reasons at the ability level. Holiday is a very magical guard. Although he is nominally a 3-and-D player, in essence, he is very different from the role of a regular 3-and-D player. A top-notch 3-and-D player in the conventional sense only needs to have above-average three-point shooting and top-notch defense skills. There is no difference on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, Holiday's three-point shooting is actually not as accurate as that of a top 3-and-D player. Both in terms of stability and output are mediocre. But his versatile offensive attributes make up for the problem in three-point shooting. Compared with a regular 3-and-D player, Holiday, who is an all-star guard by background, has the ball handling and attacking abilities with the ball that role players don't have. The scope of application of this kind of ability is roughly as follows. It is not quite sufficient to be the second option facing a defensive ace, but as the third or fourth role player in the team, Holiday can produce surprising effects. The reason why Holiday in the Celtics is the third or fourth person in the team is that he is the strongest player in the team other than the two main forwards, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And in the US team, although his ability to create offense is far from that of the starting stars, because Holiday has abilities such as individual defense and ball handling that Booker and Embiid don't have, he rightfully becomes the most important player in the team other than a few main attackers. Even there are quite a number of replacements for the main attackers, but only White in the same team can undertake the tasks that Holiday does. Among all the current star players, Holiday is the most underestimated one. On the one hand, it is because his playing style is too simple and unknown. On the other hand, it is because his offense is not ideal when he is the second option. However, Holiday just doesn't fit the role of the second option because of the lack of main attacking ability. He is a born third or fourth person in the team. In this category, he is at a historical level.